Well, welcome to 3 days of winter in South Texas. And well, Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome back here to South Texas, our 3 days of winter in South Texas. So yesterday, 11 degrees, snowing, sleeting, just a miserable, horrible day. 24 hours later, not gonna lie, it's still really cold. Not brutal cold, but it's 23 degrees, but the sun is out, it's shining. It's an absolutely beautiful day right here. Anyways, welcome to 3 days of winter in South Texas. We wanted to start off this video with saying this video is not sponsored by KOTH, the fine producers of this lovely heated jacket that I'm wearing. I am loving life here now. We're going to talk more about this later. Not sponsored by them. Anyways, we took a break for Christmas, for New Year's. We're still going to be on a little bit of a break, but we didn't want to go too long with at least putting something out to let you guys know everything that's going to be coming up for this year, where we're going to be going, places, things to do, stuff to work on, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of country coach videos coming for the motorhome. We have a lot of modifications, changes, some rewiring I'm going to be doing. One major project, I'm going to save that till I actually get over there so I can show you what that's going to be. We got some Jeep repairs coming up. We do have a little bit of off-roading stuff coming up, some travels, some adventures. I actually have some trailer videos, right? Nobody ever thinks about your trailer anymore. That's just an abused piece of equipment. I've got some modifications I'm going to be doing to the trailer. We are going to be going on a very lovely trip this summer. We'll talk more about that. But anyways, this is kind of all an overview. Let's get swapped around and we'll start on project by project of what's coming up here at a long, long way to go. And there's that beautiful girl right there. Anyways, let's get started on the country coach. We'll start from the back and work our way to the front of things that we're going to be changing, stuff that we're going to have to do, make some improvements on. One of those is a lot to do with the electrical system. No, we're not having problems with the electrical system. It's doing just great. It's just some changes that I want to do to make things better. So we're going to start out right here. This is our electrical bay where our batteries and all that stuff is. It's not heated, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up because, like I say, it is still not bitterly cold, but it's really cold outside. And it's supposed to be back down in the low double digits tonight. But anyways, let's start out here. As you know, we do have lithium batteries on our country coach. This is a 2004 Intrigue. Loving life with the lithiums. It is, again, very cold. It's below freezing. As you know, with lithiums, you do not charge them when it is below freezing. So all we are doing right now is, I'm going to put my glasses up here, is it's just in a maintaining mode. Thanks in part over here in this bay to our Progressive Dynamics dedicated lithium charger. We'll hop in this bay here in just a second and talk more about that stuff over there. The changes that we need to make, the problems that I'm running into, not problems, it's just stuff. As you see, I got the access panel out there. We do still run the little Magnum trickle charger for our chassis battery. It does okay, but with the lithiums, of course, the higher voltage resting on the lithiums, but I don't really want to trickle charge this all the time off the lithiums to pull them down because I don't want these to charge. You see I'm going in a big circle here, right? So with the way our Magnum is set up on the programming, when we let the coach sit for a really long time, I don't, let me get back out here. I don't really power our coach completely down. I never shut anything off because we do live in South Texas and you never know when we're going to hop in it and just go maybe somewhere for a short weekend. So I do leave it plugged in all the time. I have 50 amp service at the house. I do have a sewer dump station. So basically I have full hookups here. So we don't ever put our motorhome necessarily in winter storage because we travel in the winter a lot. So, but the problem I have is my chassis battery. Once we just sit here for a really long time, And the way I got my Magnum programmed, because when we are off grid to trickle charge the chassis battery, of course we have 660 watts of solar. So when we are off grid, we always have a little bit of solar, as we don't really necessarily have to travel during the rain and stuff, but you know, it happens. But it's just enough to keep the resting voltage of the lithiums different from the chassis, so the Magnum keeps it trickle charged. There, okay. When we're not doing that, when we're sitting here in the driveway, my chassis battery does have a tendency to want to dwell down on voltage, and it gets kind of low. So we're going to be making some changes on that. Our coach is wired in here in our electrical and our other electrical bay, where I have my progressive dynamics. I have a 20 amp standard household plug back there that runs off of the inverter. Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the show there, but the guy that's narrating this is completely wrong about that 20 amp plug that's in there. It's not run off of the inverter. There's some electrical rules that say that you can't take DC power, convert it to AC power, power an AC charger that's converting it back to DC and charging the same battery. You can't do that. It's impossible. So I just wanted to set it straight that idiot is completely wrong about this about this 20 amp plug in here. It is not powered by the inverter. It's only powered if he's running the generator or if he's on site power. Then it turns the progressive dynamics charger on and starts charging his beloved lithium batteries over there. So I just wanted to set that straight right quick, that he's wrong about the 20 amp plug being powered off the inverter. Okay, anyway, that's it. Bye. No, really, I'm done. You can go back to watching the show now, okay? See y'all later. Power. Of course, that's how it's powered. So that's what my progressive dynamics lithium charger is plugged into. So what I've done is I have added just a standard battery maintainer right here. Okay, this one is made by Syntec. It works really well. It's automatic sensing voltage. It will do 12 or 24 volt systems. My daughter has some jet skis. This is the one we ran on her jet skis because it would sit half the year, right? Anyway, it done a great job of maintaining the battery voltage. So what I've done is I've just installed a standard Syntec battery maintainer, and I've got it hooked up to the chassis battery. Life is great. I've had no more problems with it wanting to dwindle down, you know, just because of the way the Magnum is programmed. And I don't really want to change the program on the Magnum. So that's working great. So we're going to give that more of a permanent install. We're actually going to mount it up in the back of the cabinet there and get all the wiring ran through the back of it like it's supposed to be and get it permanently hooked up. So we're going to be doing that. That's a change that's coming, as the way we keep our batteries maintained and charged between the lithium and the conventional for house battery and chassis battery. Some other stuff that's going to be coming up on the motorhome. This is the major one. I've really been putting this off, but I just can't, is the door. Now, all of you guys out there that have country coaches, Monacos, anything that used this brand of door and everything like that, you know that they worked great when they were brand new. Our coach is an 04. A lot of us are in the same situation. Our door has sagged over time, and you can see that in our graphics lines right here, how it's just sagged ever so little bit. There's been a lot of temporary stuff that's been come out and try to help with these and make it better. I don't remember if it's Oregon, Premier, Kevin Waite, one of those had come out with like a shim that you could pull down here, and when you would close the door, it would kind of pick up on the door, and it really did help a lot, but it doesn't fix the problem that the hinges have. But let me show you what's happened to ours in here and what we're going to be dealing with. Let me get some lights turned on. It's warm enough today I can open the door up and not have to worry about all the heat just running out. But what has happened to ours, guys, is right here. So this is our screen door, right? There it is. As you know, this is a solid hinge pin that runs all the way down the door, through the door hinges and through the screen door hinges. That pin has broken. All right, so I'm gonna have to pull the whole door out of the coach. Let me get closed back up here. Bear with me. I'm gonna have to pull this whole entire door assembly out to try and come up with some kind of a solution to fix it. I I'm not looking forward to that. But huge shout out here to Dennis Maloney. A lot of you country coach owners that are on the forums, you might recognize Dennis's name. He offers a lot of insight and advice on the country coach owners groups, Country Coach International, Country Coach hacks, tips, and tricks. But anyways, Dennis has been a great amount of help on suggestions on how to get the door out, what we need to do, how to go proceed about the whole thing. That's going to be coming up, addressing the door situation on these country coaches. We've got to come up with something for you guys out there, something for us. If I'm going to build my own pen, fix that one, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's going to be up and coming. Cheap little plug out here again to my cheap, let me repeat, cheap headlights that are going on almost 3 years old now. I bought them off of Amazon, LED halo, looking spectacular still 3 years later. I did not spend $1,000 for stupid headlights for these motorhomes just so I could buy a name. I do not do that kind of crap. These have been fantastic. 3 years, going on 3 years old. I think under $225 for the pair. They work great. We're going to be changing out these down here. We're going to be going to some LEDs. Also, our lower fogs. I've got some stuff coming up with that. I actually broke one of those somehow on the road last year. The lens. Light still works, but the lens is all broke. We're going to be getting all of that old crap out of there, modernizing that. We're going to be going to some round LED, more of a spot driving light to help with, like, off to the side here, lighting up the sides of the highways. We're going to be changing that out. Another major project coming up on the motorhome is the windows. Yes, we have the dreaded fogged windows also. I'm going to have to fix this one, and I've got a little one on the back on the other side that I'm going to have to pull out. I should have done this one when we did the residential refrigerator conversion. I just didn't have time. I had to get the refrigerator done because we're going to be hitting the roads. So window repairs going to be coming up, electrical, stuff like that. As far as the inside goes, we really don't have much to do on the inside. The thing looks fabulous still for its age. Okay, on more for you off-roader guys and the Jeep. Got some things to change on the Jeep here. As you know, we went to the 40s. Love the Atturo 40-inch stickies. Not sponsored by Atturo either, but they are really nice people. They do talk to us online, acknowledge us that we exist. I appreciate that. I love my Atturo stickies. They are 40s though. And with the 40s and the increased height and the amount of wheel travel that we have, we ran into some issues where we're getting up into the body pretty good. So we've been working on that, doing some trimming here, excess metal and crap. I do run the high mount fenders, so I don't run stock fenders anymore. I have the fenders off, obviously. There's a mount right here that comes out for the stock fenders. I had never taken those off whenever I converted. I'll show you here on the other side what I'm talking about. This little bracket right here used to stick out. I cut it off some. But anyway, this bracket hangs down, and with the 40s, it gets up into that bracket, and it's hard on the tire because it wants to catch and rub and crap all the time. So anyway, this side I've gotten trimmed. I've gotten a lot of the body line trimmed up closer up in here with the structure. We made some changes up here. Just opening up clearance for the tire to move up and down with the high mount fenders. We are going to be installing some hydraulic bump stops to limit some of that up travel because I'm not a fenderless guy. Although, let me show you this, guys, man. With the 40s and fenderless, it looks so brutish. But I'm not a fenderless guy. We are going to put the fenders back on. So I've got the fenders off. I did the same thing with the fenders. I've done a lot of trimming on excess metal in here in the fender line. I mean, they used to hang down like way down like this. Just a bunch of excess metal hanging down in the wheel tire. And I've gotten that all trimmed up where it matches that main body line on the Jeep. So we've increased a lot of, like, almost 2.5 inches of travel up before we have to worry about hitting anything. I've got the fenders in the back of the truck because I'm going to get those blasted, and we're going to re-bed liner them before they go back on the Jeep. I had previously already trimmed these before. I don't have near as issue in the back as I do the front. But anyway, those are going to be coming off so we can get them bed linered. Bump stops going in. Once we get the fenders back, we can determine that height, and we'll get some bump stops for the tubes here. we'll get those installed, get that set where we can actually stop the, because if I don't run bump stops right now with just the stock bump stops, the 4.5-inch lift, the tire still gets all the way up into here. A lot of travel. We're gonna have to limit that some. The trailer, crazy as it may seem, guys, but anyways, we've gotten really good and hooked up with a LED light person. No, they don't sponsor us, but they've helped us out a whole lot on LED lighting. We're going to be using their products still. I have some of their products on the Jeep now. I really love them. We've had no problems with them. I've been talking to them about, I want to do underglow LEDs, RGBs on the trailer. And I know that sounds crazy, okay? You're like, my God, it's just a trailer. Why waste all that? But we do a lot of traveling at night, because we leave after work a lot and go to events and stuff like that. So when we roll in, I'd really like to have the trailer lit up to match the motorhome. You know, just, man, we want to roll in like it's Christmas 2024, you know. Oh, I forgot to add that about the motorhome. We had started out a couple of years ago doing some underglow lighting. The supplier, the product, it didn't really hold up. That's why we haven't talked much more about that, because we kind of just did away with all that. But anyway, we have a 32 pod LED RGB lighting system going underneath the motorhome. 32 individual lights. This thing's going to be moving and a grooving with some LED lights underneath it. We're going to be getting all those put on. They're going to match up with the trailer. It's going to look really cool. It'll match the Jeep. As you know, we did the little project on the trailer last year where when we load the Jeep, we can actually plug the Jeep into the trailer so the backup lights and all that stuff work on the Jeep when we're going down the highway. And that has worked out really good at night when we're traveling with the Jeep and the trailer both, you know, for running lights and brake lights and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's a lot of the projects and stuff that are coming up. Let's talk about the travels a little bit here. Man, it's beautiful out here, but it's still cold. It is January. It is King of the Hammers times, guys. Yes, I am headed back to King of the Hammer. Let me get switched back around here. I hate not talking to y'all. That's better, although I left my glasses back there on the motorhome. Sorry about that. But anyways, it is King of the Hammers time again. I am heading back to California to crew on 2 race trucks again this year. Jesse Lee, Andrew Goreman, thank you guys so much for inviting me back out to help crew on those race trucks. So we have King of the Hammers coming up here. 2 weeks, man. Oh, I fly out in 2 weeks to California for the King of the Hammers race. After I get home from that, I've been kind of conversing back and forth a whole lot. I hope he sees this video. Scott, I hope you're warm up there. Man, they're way up north. Where's your Scott again? Indiana, I believe. No, Indiana. Yeah, Indiana. Scott has a 2003 Country Coach Intrigue, like ours, and he is in the process of doing a lithium battery conversion on that. Him and I have been talking on Messenger, phone conversations a lot, trying to get him all fixed up. He has some awesome lithium batteries that he bought for his Country Coach. We're just trying to get him all set up on wiring and DC to DC charging and stuff like that. Been working, trying to help him out as best I can with me being way down here in Texas and him being way up there north. Anyway, that's coming along pretty good. He's doing a great job. We're still trying to get the wiring and stuff situated on that. So we got a little bit of discussion about that coming up. Spring break is coming up for us in March. I don't know what we're going to do. We tossed some plans around with what we may do on spring break. We don't know just yet. We haven't finalized that down. This summer, we do have a really large trip coming this summer, but it's not going to be in the motorhome. Which is why I'm going to get started on these motorhome projects, because a lot of what I need to do once I get started on it, right, I'm down. I've got to get it fixed so we can't be traveling, like the door situation. That's going to be huge. I don't know what we're going to do. We are headed to Cabo San Lucas this summer for a very special friends and family trip. And we'll of course, we're going to bring you guys along on that, but it's not the motorhome. We're just going to be traveling down there, flying. We got a resort rented. We're going to be staying in, all that kind of good jazz. After that, I don't know what the rest of the year is going to bring us. That's a pretty action-packed full year already, up through, the end of summertime, rolling in from late July to August. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on with us here. We haven't disappeared totally. Like I said, this is just kind of our downtime, you know, to get away and take a little break and everything like that. And but that's all the projects, some trips, some planning, some stuff that's going to be going on. I wanted to let all you guys know because I know a lot of you out there are here for the motorhome videos, and I kind of sloughed off on those at the end of last year because we did just have a lot of traveling going on. And then the off-roader guys with the Jeep, what's going to be going on with it, things that we're going to be doing, talking about, you know, with bump stops and clearance and all that kind of good crap like that. And then the traveling, the trips, and all that kind of good, glorious stuff that's going on. So, from all of us here at A Long, Long Way to Go, Happy New Year. I hope this year is way better than it was last year for everybody. And we will see you guys out there on the road somewhere very soon. Let me get really close so it looks like a whole lot. That's it. It's done. It's gone.